My people, what up, though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
I'm Bell.
And I can't fix this earpiece. Just stay in my ear, man. My name is Prentice. Okay.
Prentice at a football game right now. We still getting it done. So excuse the quality of his microphone, but it's been a while and we needed to talk. So here we go.
Yeah.
Yo, we want to apologize for our inconsistency, but we can't get right sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So we here now, but we keeping the party going. We got some good news coming too. So yeah, we glad y'all still with us. P, check in, B. What's going on?
Man. Let me tell you, I think I'll sum it up. I'm at the best stage of my life. I'm very content, comfortable, happy, while probably the most impactful moment is occurring, like as far as like transitions, like people in and out of your life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's a really, really interesting space because I feel like if I wasn't in the positive position I'm in, I wouldn't be able to handle the personal experience.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying? So it's weird because I know it exists and I feel it, but I don't feel it to the extent I would have if I wasn't this healthy. So, but I'm great, man. Overall, I'm great.
That's good.
That's dope, man, because as you were talking, shout out Professor Akbar. This is very random.
Okay.
I was in his class. He was a professor of mine at UConn, and he had held all of us back one day in class. And he was like, look, fellas, anytime you want to say was, replace it with were. Something simple like that. And I've just carried that into my adult life. That's why I corrected myself. I digress. Anyway, what you was just talking about, P, reminded me of this quote, and I may have shared it on the podcast before. It says, everybody wants the glory, but not everybody wants the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you had to go through the story to get to the glory. But if you would have knew what it took back then, right, you may not have been ready for it. So you had to do it to get prepared for it, you know?
Yeah. The interesting thing is it's not even just to like it's literally a circumstance where I was thinking about this before we got on, where I'm not even comfortable enough to talk about it in detail publicly because of the I think stigma and just the amount of disappointment I have in the situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting because and the individual concerns keeps jabbing at me. You get what I'm saying too? So it's not even like I had to get shit. I gotta move from these bleachers because these all fucking people can hear me. It's not like it's over and I'm just adjusting to the newness of the dynamic.
Right.
It's still fucking with me. You know what I mean? Like they're still there. Yeah, I'm still very much so in it. So it's interesting, man.
That's dope.
That's what's up. So I don't know, those of you who are watching, you see Bell and I on the couch back. We got that old thing back. You know what I'm saying? We doing it, you know, back how we was in the beginning. We bring it back one time. So it's good to hear you fellas.
I kind of wish we were still in social distancing.
Yeah, whatever. It's good to hear you fellas are doing good because
you didn't even ask how I was doing.
You just checked in, no?
No, I did not.
My bad.
He didn't, but
check in, Bell. How you been? How you doing? What's going on?
So good. That's he just ready. He ready to get his shit off. That's
what I need my homies.
Ready to get his shit
I need my homies.
I'm cool, man.
All right, that's enough.
It's been a while since we recorded, and as Chief, I share the same sentiment with. I think one thing though, people, it's like we just like y'all. Like shit come up, shit happens, and we get away from it. But I think the longer we go without recording, the more we realize how much we need it. You know what I'm saying? That's why Chief can't wait to start talking right now. But I've been well, man. Been doing a lot of travel, some of which was unexpected, some of which was necessary. I just got back from Miami. That was a great time. Stayed at the Fontainebleau, which I felt was very overrated and overpriced. But
was it?
Yeah, man. Like, bro, like 2 drinks, like Tito's and soda or Casamigos and soda, whatever. 2 drinks, bro, was $66.
Wow, they trying to they're
Yeah,
tripping.
Well, that's one of the reasons I don't drink.
yeah, 66 cash, man. Now, fortunately, I wasn't paying for the drinks, but still, it's just like, it's just crazy.
Principalities
Yeah,
involved,
it's
right?
like, this is a bottle, you know? Like, anyway, that trip was cool. We fly into Florida tomorrow. We're going to Florida tomorrow. But yeah, man, I do not have any complaints. We got like a little bit of daycare drama with my son, but nothing of his doing. But that's the only thing that's probably giving us a little bit of stress right now. But life is good, man. No real complaints. No real complaints. Now,
Yeah, so I'm also doing well. I had a little rough patch and I needed my homies, and these cats was, doing their lives and doing what they do. So I had to request that we get in here and get this in tonight. Overall, I'm doing really good. Like I'm staying positive even through the midst of the bullshit. But your boy been going through a cycle. So I'm gonna give you the rundown. My truck was literally on fire, like in flames. I'm in the car and the car is smoking. So clearly I get it towed to the shop. They total it out. Insurance won't cover it because it was engine damage. So now I need a new car. Fortunately, homie I haven't spoken to in years drove to the crib like, yo, Chief, you home? Like, yeah. He's like, come outside. So I got 2 cars. Take this one as long as you need. Word. So I had this car for a month, but my pride was eating at me. I got to get this man his car back. So I got a little Infinity. You know what I mean? A little couple $1,000 Infinity, right? Registered a joint on a Thursday. Went to Nashville, Tennessee. By the way, I went to Nashville, Tennessee. Let's get my black cowboy on. Nashville's kind of dope. Anyways, I was in Tennessee. Let my brother use the car for the weekend. We had a hurricane back home. This jackass leaves the sunroof cracked open during the hurricane. Water comes in, water damage to the car. Now the car won't read the key. $8,000 to fix that car total. Insurance won't cover it because they said it's not a flood from the bottom, but it came from the top. So they won't cover that. So now I'm out of a car. On the same day I get the news about the car, our best friend calls us and tells us his mom passed away. Now I don't have a car to go to support my homie. Whenever I looked, when my situation happened, these cats was right over my shoulder. Every time I turned my head, one was on one side, one was on the other. You know what I'm saying? That meant a lot for me. So to not be there for him in that moment was hard for me. On top of that, I go like, let me just take a hot shower, get ready to go to bed early. I get in the shower, the water cold, go downstairs, water heater going, $1,000 down the drain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just keeps piling on. On top of that, I got somebody on social media dragging my name, like a post literally about me dragging my name through the mud.
oh, you ain't
When this happened? Yeah, when this happened? What?
No, well, no.
Okay, so
no.
I don't want to get into it because I don't want to give it. I'll tell y'all off camera.
Yeah.
But somebody's on social media dragging my name through the mud. So then my family sees it. My goddaughter sees it, and now her and my goddaughter going back at it. It was all bad. I'm like, yo, don't ignore that. I don't got time for energy. Let her say what she got to say. You know what I'm saying? So and it was just a lot for that particular moment. And then I'm back at school, and I've been there 18 years, fam, and it was literally the worst day I've had in my 18 years of schooling, all on the same day. So all this happened in the same day. And I don't typically take work home with me, but in this particular case, I took it home with me, bro. And I'm at home stressing about. It was so bad, P. I walked to work. I went home and sat in the car for a half hour after work. Like I drove home and just sat and didn't get out the car. I sat in the car for a half hour, just decompressing. That's how bad it was. So it was.
Man, that's that season.
Yeah, it was a lot, man. And in the middle of that, I'm still trying to stay positive and do the kid thing, take my kids to practice and all that good stuff. But I'm Ubering and borrowing cars, and it's a lot. And then I kept the loaner to rent the dealership gave me and was just holding on to it till they be like, yes, listen, bro, like you tripping now. Bring us our car back, fam. Like I held on to that for a while. So it's been a lot. And for the first time in a very long time, yo, I'm like, yo, I was stressed. Like your boy was like, I was feeling it. I typically be like, nah, I'll figure it out. You know how I am. Like, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm good. But yo, your boy was really like stressed. And I still don't got a car. So I got to figure that out too when I get back from this vacation. So it's been a lot, man. And again, not talking about it, I think had it boiling up inside of me. So to be able to get it out is a blessing.
Well, yeah, man. That's like we say, deal with your trauma or to deal with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So fortunately we all have this outlet, to be able to voice that. But that sucks, man. I knew something was up when I was somewhere, I don't know where I was at, and I didn't pick up. And then I called you back the next day or something, and you was like tight that I didn't pick up. And I'm like,
he dragged like your wife.
Yeah, I was like, I speak to you every day.
Bitch,
I didn't think this was anything out of the ordinary. I was like, why you ain't text me? And then you must have thought you did text me, but then
I text the group. That's what I did. You didn't. P responded. P called me, but I was like, my niggas, I need y'all. He called me. He in Miami on vacation. Ain't thinking about his friends.
I didn't see that text.
Oh, nigga, don't do that. Don't do that.
I did see that. But I didn't know what the hell you was talking about.
That's why you should call your friend and see what he was talking about.
Yeah, I think I saw that. You know what? I saw that, and I don't know who I thought sent it. I didn't know if that was us three and the producer. I didn't know because all y'all names start with fucking P in my phone.
Right.
So that's why I look quick and whatever. I was on vacation. You should have called me back.
So that's my point.
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
So that's my point.
So with that said, so what's next? Like, what do you? Because it's like obviously that's everything that you said is temporary, right? Like that's all stuff that's temporary. None of that's permanent. So what will you go now from a
So candidly speaking, I'm still like keeping a level head. I'm positive about everything. I'm like, yo, I'll just figure it out. So right now, my main priority right now is us getting to Florida and supporting us. Like,
right.
Is supporting my man while he go. His mom passed away, so we want to be there for him and really like, show love and show support. So that's what's the most prevalent thing on my mind right now. I'll figure the car situation out when I get back. You know what I'm saying? Work is gonna be work.
So let me ask you this though, because you're taking that like, the approach where it's like, I'm just gonna stay positive. I'm gonna keep a level head, yada yada yada. I was talking to my salespeople today, and he had a situation with one of the people that report them, and he called me to vent, and I was like, so what are you gonna do? And he was like, well, I don't want to give him an attitude. I don't want to. He was basically, in short, the solution was to shield or block his emotions around the topic. What I told him was, I'm like, no, you need to show your emotions. You need to let them know that you're upset based on something that they did or did not do. So that's real. Like that's a real emotion. So you don't need to hide that. I said, you need to release that because they need to feel it. So I say that to say, you're always positive, but could it help to actually feel it in real time? Like just feel your feelings as opposed to, like we talked about before, just trying to push through, stay positive, push through. Could it just help to just like, no, like I'm fucked up right now.
So I did it. I did acknowledge. I did it. AP, do me a favor, yo. Mute your phone. Mute your phone until you're ready to talk. But that echoing shit in the back.
Oh, you can hear the okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna end up going. I'll go to the car.
All right. So to answer your question, I was in the middle of those emotions, bro. And I took a moment. I sat in the car, and I had like on two different days. I had two like real good like cries.
Good.
And I'm gonna explain why for one of them, yo. I experienced a feeling I had never felt in my life, and it was a former high school football teammate of mine. I had seen him. One of my homies was at like a little pop-up shop selling his merch. So I went to the pop-up shop to help, support him. And I was, helping him sell t-shirts or whatever. And one of the teammates walked by. He was like, yo, what's up? We caught up, whatever. And then when he left, I was like, yo, man, something seemed off about him. And he was like, yeah, man, something didn't seem right. So then whatever, nothing happened. So then like 2 weeks later, I see that same teammate. And he's downtown in the middle of the city where like the homeless people hang out at. And I was just like, yo, you good? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm good. I'm like, you sure? And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you do your thing. And just walked away. And I was like, yeah, something ain't right. he looked a little disheveled at that point. So then like, maybe like a couple of days later, I seen him and he was sitting at the park where the homeless people sit. And I'm like, okay, so he's definitely homeless. Something ain't right. So I text, like, I get a group of like maybe 10 of us from high school. And I'm like, yo, I seen so-and-so downtown. I don't think he's doing too well. I would love to get us all together and go, check on homie and see what we could do to support him. So the fellow's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, all right, everybody meet at my house tomorrow at 2:00. Next day, everybody canceled. Somebody got something to do, whatever. I ended up having to leave town. So I leave town. When I come back, I see him downtown again. And this time, like, I see him like pushing the carriage with like looking disheveled, knuckles, hands, he got the bum hands, you know what I'm saying? Looking crazy. So I'm like, I can't wait anymore. So I pull up on him like, yo, how you doing? And he was very articulate, very well spoken. Didn't seem like he was, on drugs. He's like, yes, I'll take any help you can give me. I don't want to be out here anymore, blah, 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 blah. I bought him some food, called my cousin Rosa, who runs like the homeless shelter, whatever, put him in an Uber, sent him to the shelter. For like 3 days, she said he was there doing well. She dropped him back off downtown. So mind you, so after that conversation we had, I sent him in an Uber. I sat in my car and like, I felt so bad for this dude. Like he's 40 years old, had gone through a divorce, 2 heart attacks, was having issues with the hospital. He couldn't go get his medication, whatever. And I felt so bad. Like it was like genuine heartbreak. I sat in the car and like, yo, I've never felt this before. Like it got the best of me. And I just cried for like 15 minutes because I didn't know what to do. And it was good to see him like, wanting help. Because again, I thought maybe, approaching him would offend him. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, nah, I don't need your help, or just, be embarrassed. Yeah. He was like, nah, I want all the help you can give me. So I'm like, all right, boom. So I sent him there. He spent like 3 days there and she dropped him off back downtown so he go get COVID tested for his job.
She hooked him up with a job?
Yeah. So
that's what's up.
So Pete though, he never went to the COVID test, or something happened where he couldn't get a rapid COVID test or whatever. So he couldn't go. Right?
Yo, is this after we talked?
This is shortly after we spoke. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So he goes, he can't get a COVID test. So she's like, I bought him a phone. He's going to call you. You can put him back in the Uber, send him back to the place. He calls me and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to call you right back. I'm going to order the Uber so I can tell you, what kind of car is coming or whatever. I called him back. He didn't answer. Called him back. He didn't answer. I go downtown, try to find him. Couldn't find him. Next day, I see him. The next day, he calls me and the same thing. He called me from a different number. Called this number back. I tried to call him back, tell him what the Uber was. He didn't answer. I go downtown. I see him. He got a pipe in his hand. I'm like, yo, what's up? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, it's just my weed, man. I'm not into other drugs, my weed. And I'm just like, all right, you sure? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so you want me to get you the Uber now? I'm here. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, I'm just gonna hang out here for a little while. My homie is sleeping over there, like in between the buildings. I'm gonna just stay with him tonight. I'm like, yo, you want to be out here, fam? Mm-hmm. He's like, nah, I just, my guy is here. When it gets cold, I need a place to go.
Still articulate.
Yeah, and I'm just like, fam, like this ain't what I want for you, B. Like I want you, again, really good dude. Like, and it's just, it was, and I was like, you know what? You can only so much you can do for someone. So I was like, all right, go do your thing, bro. And I left. Like, what do y'all suggest? Like, what am I supposed to do now?
Nah, you did everything. This is crazy because like what I wanted to, before I realized everything that, we all had going on and we just kind of needed a session event and not necessarily speak to a topic. Like what I wanted to talk about was like kind of like that right there. Now that's extreme, right? You got somebody that's clearly down on their luck and you are helping, trying to help, have helped, and no matter what type of help you can get is better than what their current situation is.
Right.
And then they still deny it. So that brings me back to a quote my man Oz used to say. And it's what it is everybody can't go. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't go. And that's extreme, that situation. But what I want to talk about was, and we can make another session about this, but I want to talk about like our sphere of influence and how when things start to shift, you know what I'm saying? And how we try to bring people along with us, but they may not be ready for that yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that is. Like I said, that's extreme. Like that's blatant, right? Like you can see, okay, I'm clearly going to stop until he's ready.
Right.
But when you got somebody that's of sound mind and body working, doing their thing, but okay, look, man, if you just go with me over here to be a better situation, but they can't get out their own way, because that's what it sounds like the brother we play with is going through. He just can't get out of his own way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For one reason or another. Now, it may be other stuff going on that doesn't meet the eye, but regardless of what, here's a better way, and you're choosing not to do it. And that's, again, obvious, blatant in that circumstance, but sometimes we can't see it as clear as you did because we still try to bring people along with us.
But that's kind of almost like the nature of who I am.
No,
really, I would normally dig deeper. I'm learning to kind of like let go and just, understand that everybody can't go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think,
go ahead, Prentice.
I was gonna say, I was telling Chief, he had hit me shortly after seeing you guys people. And I told him, like the silver lining, like a lot of people aren't wired like Chief is wired. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a really kind person in real life. You know what I'm saying? And to go that far, to get him an Uber, to call somebody and find some shelter for him, to actually go back and do all that is unfortunately above and beyond what the average human being would do for him. You know what I'm saying? And so when you get to that point where you then see that they don't want to put in the work, to what you're saying, Bill, like everybody can't go, it doesn't change his circumstances, but hopefully it makes it a little bit more acceptable for you, knowing that you did go in above and beyond to do something for him. You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm deathly afraid of something happening to him, because he mentioned like he had beef with, like, the homeless people be stealing from each other, whatever. So he's like, I got beef with cats out here. So I got him. It was like maybe like 30 minutes away from where we lived, like New Britain. And so he was away from everybody, had shelter. She was like, yeah, he's on the couch playing video games right now. He cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. Like I'm like, okay, cool. Because he's not on like heavy drugs. So I'm like, all right, this cat's gonna make it. He's gonna be all right. And then he's like, to be outside.
What's interesting, like Bill, you talking about everybody can't go, and it made me just think of like different dynamics where that can apply. You know what I'm saying? Like usually the everybody can't go comes from the space of your own personal success, and the other motherfuckers can't come with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I've always viewed that phrase. But to think about in this circumstance, Chief is trying to give this man a ticket to get somewhere. And like you said, he can't go because he's in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
He can't hop on the train to get down there. You know what I'm saying? And it's
not to cut you off, Prentice, but what's
cool.
What's so crazy? The people that's trying to pull you to come is typically the people that deal with the most pressure, anxiety, and what's the word I'm looking for? Basically remorse about not being able to get that person to go with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not the victim. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the one that's trying to help, but you paint yourself out to be the victim because you always think you could have done more.
And what's crazy is all this, those days were right in the middle of my shit. Like when I was going through my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right in the middle of that tension I was going through. So to really like, I almost look at it as like an escape for me to kind of stop thinking about my thing and be like, yo, somebody got it worse. You know what I'm saying? Lock in, because it ain't, you know what I mean? Somebody got it worse. And
somebody always gonna have it worse.
Always.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why
it's different when we got that personal attachment.
Yeah. But that's why we always got to be grateful too, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like most of the shit that you said, most of the shit you said, Chief, are first world problems. Right? You know what I'm saying? Now, don't mean it's not a problem. No, doesn't mean it's not going to cause stress or heartache or whatever the case, but most of it's first world problems. So it's like, then you look at our man and you see his situation, and it puts things in perspective for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be a lot worse. And I think there's something to be said. So I know we kind of going off on a tangent, and mainly me, but it brings me back to a conversation I was having today. Somebody had posted a video, and she may be well known on social media. I didn't know who she was, but very Afrocentric woman speaking about why does society put such a huge precedent on finding your purpose. She's like, what if you're just walking in your purpose every day and you just don't know it? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, right? She said a lot more than that. And
Right.
I was communicating with somebody about that topic because it was on her page. And I'm like, you know, I agree with this partially, right? I think sometimes why people can't go is because they may not understand their purpose yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about Prentice, how you view that phrase, everybody can't go, because you're looking at it like, okay, this is my success, and they literally can't do what I can do. So they're not going to be afforded this same opportunity. But what if they knew their purpose and they're like, look, being around Prentice is going to get me closer to what I need to get done, whether I could actually spit the words that he's spitting. So let me just be around, let him have the light, have the shine, and then I'll figure out my lane from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I meant it more so from the space. Everybody can't go when you're succeeding. Not that others can't do it, but that not everybody is good for you along the journey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like some people you gotta let go in order. That's what I mean. I didn't mean like from like
No. Yeah.
ability wise or like skill set.
No, and I wasn't. I'm more. We're saying the same thing. We may just be saying it
Okay.
differently. All I'm saying is, those people that can't. Okay, those people that you say can't go because they're not good for you, which I 1,000,000% agree. What I'm
Right.
saying is, like, them people. Maybe I'm not speaking for everybody, but maybe some of those people haven't identified their purpose, right? And when you're not clear on your purpose, it's like this, right? If you don't know where you're going, everything looks enticing. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know where you're going, you don't know why you want to get there, everything looks enticing.
Which is the importance of that purpose.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm a firm believer, bro, and I've talked about this on the podcast as it pertains to relationships. Like sometimes as human beings, we get caught up in the look, how it's supposed to look. Right? Like how my journey's supposed to look, like how my path's supposed to look, right? Like just to keep it simple with sports, right? I got not me, but someone would go to high school, play Division I football, get drafted in NFL, right? That's how it looks. That's how they perceive it to look. Now, that person may not be good enough to go D1, right? And they get a D2 offer. Instead of them saying, all right, I'm gonna just ball out in D2, they go prep a year. They do this, they do that, and they go to JUCO and then they get jammed up, right? Where it's like, no, I just need to be seen. Like D1 is cool, but it may not have to look like that as long as I can still get to where I want to go. Right. So that's all I'm saying. It's like, I think as Black men, right, it's very important for us to identify our purpose, right? Like it's simple to exist, in my opinion, right? My opinion, it's simple to exist, man. It's simple to work a 9 to 5. It's simple to take care of your kids, work a 9 to 5. And if that's all life is, then that's all life is, and that's cool. But underlying, I promise you, there's something deeper than that, right? Because your purpose has to be greater.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all, man. I think that, brother, we talking about somewhere down the line, and you know, something lines got crossed, right? Like I should say not crossed, but tangled, right? It's like he was going on one direction and something happened, right? So like I said, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but that's just something that was fresh in my mind. And I thought the situation was poignant.
It is. I think, Chief, man, it's really about seasons, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think how we look at seasons too makes a big ass difference with this shit. And I think you're an example of that. Like I used to look at seasons as just that. Summer being summer, winter being winter, spring being spring, fall being fall, as if in the middle of summer it can't possibly rain sometimes. You know what I'm saying? As if in certain seasons it's not possible to see a glimpse of another one. And I think sometimes when we're too stuck on this idea that we're in this season,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, where everything is fucking raining, as if you not looking at sunshine when your kids wake up. And I'm not saying you specifically, I'm just giving an example. You know what I'm saying? I think when we start to accept the fact that seasons kind of, in my opinion, what I'm kind of learning, like seasons don't necessarily exist in life the way they do as it pertains to weather. You know what I'm saying? And I think you're looking at it saying, oh, yo, I'm still positive. I'm still trying to do this. That's because you're acknowledging that, you know, the season isn't just one way for 3 fucking months.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's dope that you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can be like, you know, I know, you know, this shit feel like winter right now, but there's some sun right here. You know, I'm
That-
still, you know, I'm still shoveling the porch to get to the car. You know what I'm saying? Despite it being snowing out there, but and you do that a lot, man. I think you need to hear your niggas give you a little bit more. Well, me, I can't speak for, but I don't know. Y'all niggas is defensive to each other 24/7. So I don't know. I don't know what y'all say, but you do a good job at that, but you really do, man. You do a good job at not making winter just seem and feel like winter for you. You know what I mean? You gotta keep doing that shit.
I appreciate that, man. I'm trying. Yo, today was challenging too, bro. Like I had to stare down the kid for like 2 minutes while he just like berated me. I'm talking about. It started with, my man, could you please take your hat off? Ignore me. So I didn't think he heard me. You know, kids walk around with their headphones in. So I don't follow behind him. I kind of give him some rooms. I gave him some space, and he walked around the corner, looked back, saw me, then took a left. So like now he know I'm after him. So let me just go see me. Walk to the bathroom. I open the bathroom. He's at the stall. So I'm up at the bottom. So I step back, and I'm like, my man. I'm like, you didn't hear me talking? He's like, yeah, I heard you. What the fuck you gonna do? I heard you. What the fuck you gonna do? Wait till my family. Wait till my family hear about this. And I'm just like, I don't understand where this is coming from. But I could tell he might have been tapped in. He might have been a little tapped. You know, he kind of went off on me. He's like, yeah, you know, y'all enslaved my people. And now you're trying to restrict my freedom for education. You ain't no fucking cop. Why don't you fucking go to the academy and be a police, be no fucking cop. You just a security guard. But I'm like, first of all, I'm not a security guard, but you know, man,
What ethnicity is he?
Black, little black dude. I let him go.
Maybe Haitian.
Huh?
Is he Haitian?
Nah, I don't know. I didn't know him, Pete. My first time ever talking to him. But when I tell you, he went up one side and down the other, like, fuck out my face, get out of here, blah, blah, blah. Like, my man, could you please come over here so we can talk? Nah, I don't bow down to y'all.
He told you a lot in that first sentence, but
right. I'm like, could you please step outside? Nah, I'm like, I just talked to your pop. Your pop's gonna come get you, wait outside. Nah, I'm not going out. Like, just being defiant. Like, police officers there. I'm like, look, I don't need this kid arrested, man. Like, cause he like anywhere else, they probably went hands on and been bagged. He was like that disrespectful. In my 18 years, he might be like top 3. Like, it was that disgusting, bro. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there just looking at him, just like, you know what? And I literally remember saying to myself, this will be over in a minute. Don't trip. This will be over in a minute. Don't trip. But I want to slap fire off this cat. But I'm like, this will be over in a minute. Don't trip. And he was so belligerent that I couldn't teach him better. He wasn't trying to hear anything.
He was past that point.
But it was no point though, Bell. Like it was
no.
Nah, there was a point.
No, what I'm saying is, like, in his mind, whoever said something to him that day was gonna get it. You just happened to be him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was past that point in his mind.
He had already gotten into it twice earlier in the day with security guard asking him to take his hat off.
Yeah.
He got some shit on his heart.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He got some shit on his heart. And he talking about, you already enslaved my people. He may be feeling a little rebellious right now.
Pete,
you know?
I'm exponentially good at what I do and being able to take the ruffians and bring them in, at least have a conversation. I couldn't even connect with this cat.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey. Well, you know how I go after like.
Hold on, Prentice. Hey, everybody can't go, bro.
That part.
Right? That's it, man. Everybody can't go.
Yeah. So
you know how that go. You know that feeling when like after y'all, I know y'all probably get this shit too. After a cop kills one of us for the millionth time, or after I see us getting treated unfairly again on TV, I always have a thing about me to white folks when I go back outside. You know what I mean? I'm always just a little extra ready to pop off. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't that they did anything. They just represent what I'm mad at. You know what I'm saying? And they may be the victim because of some other shit I've seen. So I don't know, man. Maybe he got, maybe he has, just talking about you enslaved my people and being black and talking to a black man while saying that.
Yeah, he called me racist too. And I'm just like, it just didn't seem right. But like I said, for me not to be able to at least get him to like connect with them, and I'm always polite. I don't raise my voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just, it was just different. But I remember sitting there going, "This will be over in a minute. Like, just cool out. Let him have his moment." So
Yeah, it's time. That's another sign that it's time for you to go ahead and
yeah,
do your thing, man.
yeah.
Mhm.
So in the spirit of doing my thing, in the midst of all this tension I've been having in this stream of negativity, I do have some good news for y'all. For
Let
those of
him
you,
go.
for those of you who follow me and support my poetry, I have taken my one-man play, I Wish Life Had Training Wheels, turned it into an album / audiobook, and have submitted it for Grammy contention.
Let's fucking go.
So
Let's go.
I am in consideration for best spoken word album. I don't, nominations happen in November, on November 23rd, but the fact that I'm there, I'm on the ballot to be considered is a big deal. So it feels real good. And I'm gonna drop this. And the crazy thing is the album releases tomorrow, which would be my brother's 38th birthday, which is also my best friend's mom's funeral. So it's gonna be an array of emotions I'm gonna be going through tomorrow, but I'm gonna be all right.
You want to get drunk?
But if y'all got any streaming music, just type in "I Wish Life Had Trained" with Michael Chief Peterson. Support me, man. Download
It's already on there
It's at midnight, I believe.
tonight.
Bang. That's what's up, bud.
So,
I'm about to
Congratulations.
bootleg that shit, nigga.
So support me, man. Check it out. And my website will be back up. I ran into some snags. My website will be back up. Go on there, leave some kind words on the testimonial page, and let me know what you think. But that's so in the midst of all that negativity, I'm still chasing dreams. I'm still shooting at them goals and keeping positive. So this goes to say, guys, when you have your season, understand it doesn't last very long, and even in the middle of it, you got to keep pushing. You know what I mean?
So something I be telling my sales team, right? I tell people that they got to understand their why, right? It goes back to purpose, right? Understand your why, understand your purpose. Because when you understand your why, you understand your purpose, the things are going to get tough, right? Life, that's what's going to happen. What you went through this past couple of weeks, that's life, right? Like that's what we have to deal with. But when we understand our purpose, how we get there doesn't matter as much. So like no matter what was thrown at you, nothing was going to stop you from celebrating tomorrow, period, right? So what I say to them is when you understand why, the how don't matter that much because you know why. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a matter. Cold. It's not a matter if you're gonna get through it, right? Because you know why you need to get through it. Right?
That's so on point.
When you understand the why, the how don't matter.
The how don't matter.
It don't matter as much.
Right.
I'd say for me, like it don't matter as much. It matters enough for you to know it's relevant, but you hella right, Bill. Like when you know your purpose, man, like you learn to accept it because you know it's part of the journey.
Yeah, but then you're also in that journey when you know your purpose, like it's almost regardless of what happens, you can't be stopped. Like
that's exactly what it is.
Right.
That's exactly what it is.
But that's the thing. So it's like how you're gonna get through this don't matter as much because you know why. Right now, I'm not saying it don't matter at all because you got to deal with it. But if that purpose is strong, you're still gonna get there. You know
and it allows your brain to you kind of like in a way give yourself more choices and options. You know what I'm saying? Like in decisions with how you're going to handle it by knowing your purpose.
Right. Because
it presents different ideas to you because you're looking at it from a different perspective.
Because the end goal is the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That the route you have to take and how you're going to get there may change, which is what you're talking about. Your brain gets activated on different things, different moves you have to make, but your North Star stays the same.
Yes, sir.
That's and that's my point, man. And that's again, and maybe I'll find it and I'll have the producers put it on the page. But like I said, I agree with a lot of what this woman said. But I do personally feel that your purpose at some point needs to be pronounced, right? Like you have to understand it to know how to get there. That's my opinion, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, and I think too, Chief, I think that's what helps keep you grounded, right? Like, and I'm not like an emotional dude. I know we've spoken about that a number of times, but I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that's just kind of my makeup. And And I think what helps me is because I understand, like, no matter how hard it gets, what's happening, I understand where I'm going, and doesn't mean I'm not going to feel that shit when it goes awry, right? Please hear me clear. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in your core. And then you may even be sidelined for a little bit as a result. You know what I'm saying? But then once you lick your wounds, now you back up. You're like, okay, I still know where I'm going.
Mhm.
Right? I may be a little further, potentially, depending on what happened to get there, but I still know where I'm going, So that's the thing. And that's why I was talking, to bring it full circle. The good brother that was on the street, somewhere down the line, signals got crossed, right? That's what I was saying. He lost his way. Somehow, some way he lost his way. And you coming back trying to help him regain it. He may not even be at the point where, again, everybody can't go. He may not be at the point where he's ready to get back on that horse to get there. Or he may not even know what it is anymore, right? He may have lost himself to the point where he doesn't know what it is. And shit, that's possible too. But that's why it's important to keep good people around you, to remind you of your greatness, remind you of why you should be grateful. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, for sure, man. Listen, yo, I think this is a good way to cap it, yo. Like I'm gonna go ahead with the final thought first. I really appreciate having an opportunity to talk with my guys. Like it really, like for me, I'd be like in this moment right here, I needed this to kind of just let it out and talk to my boys and get it out and get some support behind it. And I guess reassurance, I don't know, whatever the case may be, but my final thought regarding this episode is just get you a circle, B. Even if it's, a straight line, it's 1-to-1. Get you a circle, because it's monumental when you can let yourself go judgment free.
Yeah, I'll go with. We probably could do a whole episode on this. I will go with find your purpose. Right. Some of us shy away from that because it requires work. People, just so you know, like it's not like you sit here. Oh yeah, this is my purpose. Right. It requires work, because your purpose has to be bigger than you. Right. It requires work. And some of that work may be having to unpack some stuff that you haven't even addressed within yourself. Right. That's what I would say. I would say find your purpose so you can always have a North Star. But that's my final thought.
And I'll cap it off just by saying, as it pertains directly to you, Chief, man, and just speaking in general, all it is at the end of the day is life having you in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just where you're at right now. Like, life has you in the gym, and it's unfortunate that some of the workout routines are heavier than others. You know what I'm saying? But every time we bounce back stronger. You know what I'm saying? So, when life have you in the gym, man, just try to look at it from that perspective. Just like you be doing, but just keep fucking going.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a great, frame of reference, analogy type shit. You know what I mean? You all right, B. You good at what you do.
Man. Hey, man, you see me? I'm looking at shit.
Listen, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're gonna be more consistent, I promise, to keep this party going.
Back.
But per usual, do us all a favor, hug a black man today and tomorrow.
Do it.
We out.
Peace.